Holiday music is playing along with the sound of fire cracking. There is the sound of footsteps and a door opening. Diane, a cleaning lady, enters the apartment, closing the door behind her. Her phone rings. She talks on the phone while cleaning. There is Marla on the other side of the phone. She tells her about her cleaning service. She turns the vacuum cleaner on and hangs up the phone. The sound of knocking at the door can be heard behind the whirring vacuum. There is some old lady at the door asking for help as her car got stuck on the mountain roads. She asks to borrow her phone. Meanwhile, her son comes there. A mysterious-looking man with a mask on his face laughs weirdly and comes in with a thud. He enters the house along with the lady. He tries to chase Diane, laughing and stomping around. She tries to escape, crying and screaming. The mask from his face falls on the floor. His mother picks up the mask. There is the sound of the man grunting and Diane screaming. He roars horribly. The mother asks him if he is feeling good. He grunts. She tells him that this is not the right girl for him and that the right one is yet to come. She takes a spray bottle and a cleaning cloth to remove the mess and starts cleaning the floor. Meanwhile, the masked man throws a bra and a shoe, fully stained with blood, into the fire to remove the evidence. The mother draws the things out of the fire with the intent to bury them along with the dead body. She explains to him to bury the body like a digging game. The man groans happily. He talks in babbling sounds. They hear the sound of approaching vehicles. She asks him to hide the dead body. The man drags it while the mother picks up the cleaning stuff. There is the sound of footsteps and muffled conversation. A couple enters the apartment named Alex and Zoe. Zoe is not happy to see the dusty house, but Alex asks her to get used to the dust. She goes to the toilet, while Alex sets up the camera that he has left focused on the fireplace. Zoe comes back, and Alex goes to get some wine for them. He comes with a pair of glasses and pours wine into them. Alex asks her to join him on the rug, sitting on it. She refuses, because she does not want to be a part of his sexy logules while the camera is still on. Moreover, she does not want to sit on a dead bear, as she finds it cruel. They kiss each other, while someone peering out of the door from behind can be seen from the wine bucket's reflection. As Alex gets back, that mysterious masked man goes inside. He draws a ring from his pocket and shows it to the camera. While bringing some snacks for her from the kitchen, he pretends to fall. Zoe gets worried, and she starts to search her bag to get some Tylenol for him. Suddenly, he proposes to her to marry him. She gets surprised and asks him about the ring. Alex tells her that the ring belongs to Nana. She is happy to know this, but she tells him that she is not sure of her answer yet. The masked man can be seen coming out towards them in his reflection in the bucket. A siren chirps, and a vehicle approaches outside. The mysterious masked man rushes inside and keeps peeking out. They go to the door and find the sheriff and his deputy there. They ask them whether they have noticed anything suspicious there. In another inquiry, the sheriff tells them that they have found a dead body on the other side of the mountain. Then, he asks them to come in. The door closes. Seeing the fireplace, the sheriff asks them about the log. He tells them that they have brought the log from the tree where slaves were hanged. The tree is very sacred, a demon tree. Sheriff asks for a glass of water. He throws the water on the burning fire and asks them not to light the log again and that he would bury the log respectfully. He further instructs them not to touch the log again. The deputy notices the camera and asks about it, coming closer to it. So he tells them that Alex makes videos for YouTube. Sheriff tells them that he should erase the video if he has recorded that log. He hands them his card to contact him. They exit. A flashback occurs, in which two little boys are playing in the same living room by the same fireplace. Zoe gets upset about the murder and the killer. Alex tries to soothe her by getting intimate. That strange man peers out again. Alex questions her about the cursed log in an attempt to distract her attention from the killer. Then, he asks her about his marriage proposal. She tells him that she loves him and wants to marry him, but she is just afraid of the worst marriage like her parents had. Alex consoles her by telling her that they would not have the worst marriage, as they are different people and that he loves her so much. But on the other hand, Zoe has her thought process. She tells Alex that she is accursed, and it would harm him too if they get connected that way. Alex asks her to work on it, perhaps by starting medications. He tells her not to let things get on her nerves. He further tells her that there are always some bad aspects of life, no matter which era you live in, but you have to find the good out of it. She tells him that this time, the world is going to hell in a handbasket. He replies that if it is so, he wants to be there in the handbasket with her. Suddenly, she asks him if he needs a hot tub. Alex laughs. As they are having a conversation, they hear the sound of a vehicle again. The mysterious man shuts the door. They go up to the door. Zoe holds a big knife as a weapon against the killer. Opening the door, they find a group of people. They are 4 in number, including 2 boys and 2 girls. Alex asks them if he can do something for them. They claim that they are renting the house, while Alex claims the same. Zoe shows her doubts regarding them as the killer which is said to be in the town. They come in. Alex tries to call the landlady while Ben, one of the men, also tries to call. As they are doing so, Zoe hears the sound of a phone ringing. She finds it underneath a couch and tells them that it might belong to the landlady. The girls have already gone inside. Hearing about the murder, they start to make fun of it by showing up to make a podcast about the murder. Zoe gets irritated at this. Ben tries to light the fire, but Zoe keeps him from doing so, telling them about the cursed log. There is a flashback of the same living room, where a woman is serving 2 kids. Alex calls the sheriff, who asks him to call back tomorrow. Alex does not seem to believe the superstitious stuff that has been told to them earlier. There is another flashback of a man saying goodbye to his wife in the same living room with the same fireplace. The scene shifts to the next flashback. Isaac, a white man, is sitting at his dining table by the fireplace, and Rosa, his black servant, is serving him a meal. She shows him a blanket to take with him for her son, William. He tells Rosa that her son will be auctioned. The scene goes back to the present. Alex gives some cold drinks to all 4 people. After some time, Henry, Holly, and Beth go to the hot tub, whereas Ben leaves for the room upstairs to take a shower. Beth comes to invite the 2 to the hot tub, but Zoe refuses, saying that they have to unpack their stuff. As they all leave, the dyer cracks by itself in the fireplace. Some suspicious being chases them. Finally reaching Ben in the shower, it attacks his face, grunting. The blood spreads everywhere. The suspicious being is a burning log that goes back to the fireplace again. When they come back to the living room, they start talking about their work. Henry asks Alex about his earnings. He replies that he makes good profit out of it. They also tell him about their podcast about aliens. Zoe comes in and asks about the fire. They claim innocence. She leaves for bed. As they all talk about random things, Henry has a clear and certain vision that turns him alive from the dead rug. Then he notices a small man standing in the fireplace. Alex is telling them about Zoe's behavior, and that she is a little depressed as one of her co-workers named Willow went instead of her to deliver money, but she got robbed and murdered on her way. Since then, Zoe considers herself responsible for it. Henry, once again, hears the little man who is calling him from the fireplace. He crawls inside the fireplace, following the little man. He looks terrified. The little man offers him a drink, but he refuses to have it. There is fire burning all around. He sees a girl and 2 boys standing there, all drenched in blood. The little man asks him not to worry about them. He points towards a door, and the door opens. It is an elevator. They go in, and the door closes. He turns it on. There, he sees the footage of a family through another fireplace. They all look so happy. He shows him the picture of her mother, sleeping on a couch, and she is 8 months pregnant with him. He gives him a black magic marker, and asks him to go inside the fireplace. Then, he asks him to take a paper and write a plus on it to remove all the failures of his life. He goes inside and does the same as told by the little man. When he comes back, he notices that there is a big knife in his hand instead of the magic marker, and that he has killed his mother. The little man goes out of the elevator, and Henry vanishes. Back in the living room, they are still talking when Beth goes upstairs to see Ben. She screams about seeing his dead body in the shower. They all rush upstairs and get horrified. Beth tries to call the police for help, telling them that they found the dead body of her boyfriend, with his skull bashed in. Meanwhile, the burning log comes flying and bangs on her head, killing her. They scream in terror. Zoe tells Alex that it is that cursed log, as told by the sheriff, which is still burning on the floor. The other boy tries to put it out, but it lifts him and kills him by pounding him on the floor time and time again. They run to save their lives when they see it coming toward them. All 3 of them lock themselves in a room. Zoe calls the police for help as the log is pounding at the door while Alex is holding the door by pressing it. Suddenly, the sound stops. Zoe is informed that the department has no sheriff or deputy. Alex notices the burning log flying through the window. He pulls Zoe to save her life. They run out. Alex takes Zoe to a cupboard to hide, whereas Holly goes downstairs. They hear Holly screaming. They discuss the log that is from the cursed tree. The log yells arson. Arson. Zoe tells him that the sheriff has done something to the fireplace, as he has sprinkled something on the log that has cast an evil spell. Alex still does not believe in the cursed log. He says that if the brutality against the black can result in this, there would have been lots of logs in America. He further tells her that they would write a book on it, or make a movie about it to get rich. He tries to console her by kissing her. Suddenly, they see a log coming through the window, yelling arson. They run out to save their lives. As soon as they try to get out of the main door, that mysterious masked man shuts the door. There is the sound of fire cracking. Zoe and Holly are now tied with ropes in the living room. The masked man comes in, breathing heavily. His mother calls from the kitchen and asks him to be nice to the girls. They scream. They tie Alex in the kitchen. He tells the mother, who is eating cheese with a knife, that the house is cursed. Meanwhile, the man plays the game Eeny Meeny to choose his first victim between Holly and Zoe. He attacks Holly first. Alex tells the mother that he would pay a lot of money and everything she wants. She sits in his lap and tries to feed him cheese with the knife. She yells from the kitchen at her son to get a woman pregnant. She tells Alex that she wants a grandson. All his attempts fail, and the mother does not let him trap her. The masked man tries to attack Zoe. He tries to show her his body by opening the zipper. The burning log comes flying and attacks the masked man. It takes him out of the house. He grabs the log and throws it at a distance. The flashback of the same living room begins once again. A fat lady is seen cutting her with a knife. The scene turns, and Rosa kills Isaac for letting her son be sold to Mr. Armfield, a brute. She is screaming that William is their son. Back at present, an airspace comes, shining. The old lady tries to kiss Alex. He calls the police for help. He gets from the light outside that the police have come to rescue them. An alien enters the kitchen. The old lady picks up a pistol and fires at it, but it does not harm the creature. It draws some mysterious lines from his gun that suck the blood from the lady by capturing her eyes, mouth, and nose. Then it turns to Alex, who tries to escape by discussing various things about their advancement and empathy. Zoe screams from outside, seeing the creature that diverts its attention towards her. Holly pretends to be dead. It comes upon Zoe, and she starts screaming, and another flashback occurs, describing the deaths at various times for various reasons. The bulky woman committed for body shaming. Isaac was killed by a black slave who is hanged afterward. The man was killed for pretending to be the opposite gender. Back in the living room, Zoe holds a knife lying beside the fireplace. Before it can attack her, the alien dies suddenly as the masked man attacks it from behind with an axe. As he comes closer to Zoe, she stabs the big knife in his pants and kills him by attacking his eye. She rushes to Alex, who is half conscious, cuts his ropes, and takes him out. As they try to leave the house, the burning log comes again. She turns to Holly and assures her to rescue her. The little man appears again in the fireplace. He calls for Zoe. She goes in, holding the knife. He asks her to drop a baseball on the stairs through another fireplace in the elevator. It would be an attempt to stop her parents from conceiving her, so that the miseries from her life would be removed. The knife drops from her hands, but she refuses to do so, saying that she wants to live. Suddenly, an iron rod comes inside the fireplace and kills him. Zoe comes out, and they all try to run away in the car. Alex tells her that the key is in the kitchen. Holly prefers to run into the wilds instead of going to the cursed house again. Zoe takes the keys from the kitchen and picks up the axe lying on the floor. When the log comes to attack them, she hits it with the axe, turning it to the refrigerator. They lock it in and rush out. They get inside the car. A group of people is chanting mysteriously under the cursed tree. Zoe sees the fake sheriff and his deputy. She crushes him down with her car. They reach back to their town. Stopping the car, Zoe wears the ring, assuring him that she would marry him. Suddenly, the same burning log appears by the window. It kills both of them by thudding into the car.